Good afternoon, morning, evening or night, ladies and gentlemen, and welcome to the JARCAST. I'm your host Alex, joined here, as always, by James, and Jim.
Howdy.
We come to you, not live, but every week, Mondays at 6 p.m. UK time.
We are the regular show.
We're that Cartoon Network show with like a raccoon and a...
Bird.
Raccoon?
It's a bird.
Yeah, it's a bird. Did I just say a raccoon and a raccoon?
Yeah.
I didn't mean to say that. But before we go any further, I'd like to thank the patrons for supporting the show. Head over to Patreon/JarMedia. Patreon.com/JarMedia. God, my brain. For just to help us out, support us, keep the audio version of the show going. You know what I'm saying? People need it on iTunes, where they can rate us 5 stars. And the shilling is over. How are you all doing?
Yeah, man.
Yeah? I feel like really not scared or like we're in the middle of some kind of weird ritual.
Well, we're not, is the reason why. We don't do rituals here.
Yeah, we're kind of straight Catholic boys, you know. We don't mess with the dark arts.
Speak for yourself.
Have you been doing something you shouldn't have been, Alex?
I know there is something scary, though, James, that we do need to talk about. That being the close call near evisceration of Britain's wildlife.
Yes, there has been. So, most country people would know, who live out in the country, would know. Back roads. The small roads, you know, that connect, you know, towns, cities together before you get on, like, major roads. So, picture this. It's the start of quite a big storm. So, it's raining heavily, really strong winds.
What time of day was this?
This was 1 in the morning.
Damn. What,
So
Saturday night, 1 in the morning?
This Sunday morning, 1 in the morning.
Right, yeah, of course.
And I was going down this back road, you know, pitch black, no lights at all. It's all just trees.
Mm-hmm.
Rain, wind, just a mess. So I was driving down, 60 miles an hour, going down this road.
Pretty quick. Pretty speedy.
The speed limit, you know, I was doing the complete speed limit. And everyone who drives down these roads has the fear that one day an animal could run out in front of your car. It's like the fear in your back of your head. You see it sometimes. You see people hitting like deers and having their car destroyed.
Yeah, there's always a corpse on the roads.
Always. So here I was, travelling down, going a bit speedy, listening to Eurobeat, because that's what you do. And suddenly I was getting up this road, and suddenly an animal started just running out right in front of where I was. Suddenly. And between my instant response was like, avoid, because obviously the other side of the road was clear. There's no point, because there's this like misconception what people believe you should do when like an animal pulls out. A lot of people think you should like stop. Really, you shouldn't stop. If like an animal runs out, you have to hit it, basically.
Yeah, because of what you say, because if there is a car coming the other way, it's probably better you hit the animal as opposed to crashing into another car and causing a pile.
And if you try to emergency stop to stop, you're going to hit the animal anyway, and you're going possibly the person behind you hit you, causing a big crash.
Mm-hmm.
So it's like, in that situation, it's like you just got to hit it and kind of kill it. It's gonna go. So here I was, and my instant response, because the road was clear, was to just boom, just completely try to avoid it.
Mm-hmm.
And I didn't brake at all. I just threw it, then braked suddenly, and then just kind of catapulted myself around. And I've got footage, literally just boom, boom, straight across. Didn't slow down at all, and then just continued driving.
This is, if you're listening to the audio version of this is one I'd recommend going to the YouTube version just to watch the intro, because the intro to this video was James's like dash cam footage of him dodging the badger. Did we say it was a badger?
It appeared to be a badger, but from the point I saw it like walk out to the point where I'm on the road again after dodging it, it's 2 seconds. That's
really. Did you look at the timer?
It's from like 9 seconds to 10 seconds to 11 seconds. That is incredible. the fact that my brain could actually just like calculate, go that way.
An instant reflex.
Yeah, my instant reflex.
Yeah, a few months back, I nearly had a collision with an animal. Didn't have the footage of it, but I was driving back to town at night, and this huge, bloody great deer came bolting out of the woods, and it was like with the badger. Like, luckily it was late at night, and there were no cars coming, so I could kind of go round it like you did. And I was going way slow. I wasn't going 60, but that was scary enough on its own, especially because like a badger will mess your car up.
Badgers are built like a shit brick house.
Yeah,
if you hit one of them, your car's gonna be destroyed.
Yeah, but imagine like how much worse it would even be if it was one of these huge like bucks.
Yeah, it could go through the windscreen. It could hit you. It's not.
Yeah, those antlers
really
could go through like some horror movie scene and just impale you on the spot. Yeah,
and I managed to avoid it. And you see in the video, I didn't make a noise. Like, it's obviously inside my car, no noise at all. I did not react. I was just like,
yeah,
boom.
No, someone I know's sister, when they were doing their driving test, a pheasant ran out. It was it's like a small bird, like chicken-like thing.
If you live in the country, you know what they are.
Yeah.
Really,
I just like, because most places don't have badgers, do they? Or maybe types of badgers. Because I was talking to my dad, who's from New Zealand, and I was talking to him about the wild animals that live there, because it's completely different, obviously. They don't have foxes, they don't have badgers. So then I was like, oh yeah, of course, like, we don't, like, the world doesn't share the exact same.
Yeah.
Like for like example, if you're like in Canada or America, you could hit fucking like bear or fucking like huge elk. It's like, fuck, that's next level. So that's hitting, like, that's the equivalent of hitting an actual car, which is just absolutely crazy.
Especially if it is like a huge elk. That's like the
elk
weight of like
scary.
And their horns are like huge as well.
So maybe that's why in America they've all got these massive cars.
Yeah,
it's just like elk protection. No, but it's actually a test, isn't it? Cars in America, I'm pretty sure, are designed so that if they hit an elk, the person won't be killed.
Really, they have to design it around elk.
Yeah.
But yeah, this person was doing their driving test, and a pheasant came out in front of the car, and they were instructed to just go through the pheasant. So it, like, just eviscerated the pheasant, kept on driving, and they like started crying, and they like hated, like, they just couldn't deal with it.
Yeah, hitting an animal.
And then they failed.
No, but this isn't my first time actually being... It's my first time being the driver near an animal near miss, but it's not my first time actually hitting one in a car. Because same situation, identical situation, but I was the passenger, and my colleague just went round a corner and then boom, just smacks this small like Bambi basically.
Really?
Just obliterates it. And then I was just like, she hit it, and I was like, don't stop, drive. So she started fucking like crying, and I was just, don't stop at the next stop, because you should just stop, like when not on the road. And then my boss, being like a chef, was like, where is it? I can make dinner. So he literally went out in the middle of a storm to find this Bambi that we hit. He took it home, cut it open, and what happens to animals when you hit them is they don't show any signs on the outside, but just the insides actually pop. So he cut open this Bambi, and it is just every single thing just fell out of it as like a liquid. And then he just went down the road, because obviously the meat was buggered. Mm-hmm. He just threw it in the ditch. And that's like, damn.
The question is, should you have killed this badger?
No.
With the badger culling and everything.
No. Oh, are we still doing that? Are we still hunting down badgers?
No.
Are they like a pest?
I don't even know if it is a badger, because I've seen the footage, and if you watch it...
Well, the Jarlings can comment and let us know what they think it is.
It's a badger. I don't know what else it could be.
Could have been a corgi.
A random corgi, and I was just like...
middle of the woods.
I'm surprised my reactions were so good, and I just didn't react like a tool. It was just like, boom. And it's just like, I remember the exact thing I did. In car terms, it was just a weight transfer to the right, then brake to put weight on the front to then shoot it around. Mm-hmm. I did that in 2 seconds. I don't know how, but my mind is just like...
Do you think the average person could have done that? No. Or do you have honed skills, let's say.
Well, I was doing this. Let's say I was doing this at 60. Most people can't like drive at 60, to be honest. So I don't know, but
Okay, flex your driving then. Flex on the.
Well, I learned to drive at 14 and competed in regional championships, and you know.
But you didn't have your license till you were like 20, right?
Yeah, because I rode motorbikes. I made that mistake of riding motorbikes. Oh my god. That was the one fear. I actually have a fear in my mind of hitting animals because of a motorbike.
Oh my god, yeah.
Because it's like if you hit a deer, you're dead.
Yeah.
So I was just like, that was my biggest fear, and it's like not anymore because like you're in a box. But it's weird that it's now happened. It's taken this long, but I've actually had it happen, and But
you dodged it.
I dodged it.
You didn't even get the.
I dodged it, and this was all before a car meet in like 7 hours time.
Yeah.
So I was just like, Christ. That badger made it home. My car made it home. I made it home.
The badgers have homes?
It must have. It's crossing the street for a reason.
Why did the badger cross the road, my dude?
To get hit by a Mazda, it seemed.
To get to the mushroom.
But watch the video. Let me know what you think. I'm happy with my driving.
Yeah, we can actually hand out some handy advice here to those that might be interested.
Yeah, don't drive. Save the environment.
Yeah.
Well, you could do that. But we all took too long to get our driver's license.
Oh, yes.
James got it first.
20? Yeah, I was 20.
And 20 is quite late because what?
17.
17 is when you're allowed to get your license here. You're allowed to get a provisional.
And I'm a car person as well. That's like even more.
Yeah,
shocking.
I was like I knew you'd be the first to get your license, but I was shocked.
It took me so long.
What was it? Because it was just so expensive.
Yeah.
Yeah, because for me, as soon as I was 17, I started doing lessons. I did like 12 lessons. But we have to do a theory test here, so you have to drive somewhere like Gov approved, and then sit down at a PC and do this weird test.
A horrible test.
It's like a 2-part test where you have to do 50 multiple choice questions.
And then interactive, like, spot the issues on the road. If there's a badger running out, what do you do, basically?
There's this weird, like, video where it shows, like, a POV of a car driving, and on the mouse you have to click every time there's something that they perceive as a danger, and it's, like, measuring your response time. But there's, like, all these weird CG elements in it.
Yeah,
like when you did it, did it have all the weird CG stuff?
Yeah, and I because of the way the CG was like animated, it's just like you could tell because they'd artificially speed the animation up when it was going to happen, and I'd be able to spot it before then. It wouldn't count, so it's just like great.
No, that really annoys me. And the like CGI is creepy.
Yeah,
super creepy.
They do CGI humans.
Yeah.
And there was this one because I've been doing it because I've got my theory test coming up. And these two like bin men came from behind a bin lorry. And like one of the CGI men turns and looks directly into the camera, like what you're looking through, and like
weird.
It's really creepy.
Yeah,
it's like he peers into your soul. And the thing was, in that one, I pressed on it when I saw him on the other side of the truck, like starting to walk there.
Yeah.
So I was like, oh, that's like I need to look out for this guy coming out.
Which is
but
the thing.
I pressed it too soon.
Yeah, in real life, that would be the indication that there's someone there.
Yeah.
But they penalise you for being too early.
Yeah.
Too safe.
You're
being too safe.
I failed my theory 3 times for that issue because I was just like, why am I failing? I'm spotting the issues, but it was just like there's like you get 3 for being perfect on time, then a 2 and a 1. So you've obviously got to score out of like 50. It was infuriating. I passed my theory, and because I was so annoyed at it, I didn't do any lessons until a fucking month before the theory expires. I was just like,
oh yeah, because once you pass the theory, you have a year.
You have 2 years. 2 years. 2 years.
Oh, is it 2?
2 years.
Okay, that's a bit better.
So I was
you
just
waited 2 years?
I did. And then I looked at the theory certificate one morning and was just like, shit. Literally, it was just like, I'm not doing this again. So I called an instructor and said, I need a driving lesson every day. I've got my theory runs out then. I need to pass my test before then.
I feel like we're not alone in the hatred of the theory test.
Yeah, everyone hates the theory test.
No one likes the theory test. No one's like, oh, I'm really glad this is part of it.
If I lose my license somehow, it definitely won't happen. If I have to retake my theory, I'm just going to go to another country and do it there. Just
No, because I can
easy.
honestly say, and tell me if you guys agree with me. James has been on the road longer than Jim, obviously, so he'll have more to add. But I don't think anything that I like when I revise to pass for the theory, I don't think any of that is retained in my head as useful knowledge as I'm on the road.
No,
in practice.
as someone that's learning, I think it makes it harder. The theory stuff. It's like, to me, in my head, it's like there's the theory and the practical. And I've learned all this stuff of the theory, and when I'm actually driving,
it's completely different.
like, it is completely different, and I miss things because the way it's taught isn't. It's checking boxes as opposed to actually being taught how to like understand these.
Yeah, just like
signals
the
and
education system in general.
Yeah.
You shouldn't
in
be
this
like
country.
taught like all the stuff in the theory when it's like most people will get in a car and have no idea anything about it. And it's like, you know, this thing could kill you. You should know the most basic like maintenance for the car.
Mm-hmm.
And I don't get it. I hate it.
Yeah, because back in the day, like instead of doing a theory, the driving instructor would just ask you a couple of questions.
Yeah.
Because they know, like, they're teaching you. They've taught so many like students, like they know what to look for in someone who's going to be a dangerous driver. They know.
Yeah.
Right, so you know, give them some credit. It's all just some stupid scheme to you know get money off people who want to drive.
And let's just say, at this moment in time, learning to drive, doing your theory, is unbelievably expensive.
Is it on purpose to try and disincentivize people doing it? Because it is such a ridiculous amount of money and they want less cars on the road.
I know we said that, you know, it's something you should do when you're young. I don't understand how anyone at 17 would have the income.
Yeah, unless your
afford it.
parents can pay for you. That's why I only did it like a year or two ago.
Yeah.
Like I couldn't afford.
Yeah, that's the same reason. I had the money in when I was 20 to do it.
Yeah.
Now I have the money. I didn't have the money when I was earning £600 a month as a basic apprentice.
Mm-hmm.
You don't.
Yeah.
When like lessons are like, you know, 2 hours is close to £100. How am I supposed to fit that in with every other thing in my life?
Yeah.
It's ridiculous.
Let alone when you actually buy the car and then the
you got
insurance company.
Insurance, tax. Because insurance will be more than the lessons most of the time in total. And it's like, that's 1 year. 1 year.
Yeah.
And that's why I've left it late. But
yeah, the average for the first year is like over £1,000. Like, but the point is though, once you have your license, like you have it, and when you're younger and have less responsibilities, it's the perfect time to do it.
Yeah.
Because
Just get it out of the way.
once you have things you have to abide by, you know, a job, a family, or whatever, but it is just so much more annoying trying to figure out a schedule.
Importantly, it is quite vital for a job. It's really difficult to get a job where you live without a car because you need to be able to travel.
Yeah, if you're not living in like the centre of a city.
Yeah, you have a lot more opportunities if you can drive.
Yeah, exactly. You can.
I actually remember when I was trying to find the job when I was 21. So not my last job, my last before. When I was going through in places, just telling them like, yeah, I haven't got my license yet, was difficult because they would instantly lose interest because they won't be able to get a place for you because you need a car. So it's not only just vital as, you know, getting it. It's like you're not going to be able to get a good job if you don't have a license. It's horrible because it's a catch-55. It's like you're not going to get money to be able to get your license because you can't get a good job because you don't have your license.
Yeah, you can't commit to a job that's like away from you because you can't get to it.
And you know, us living out in the more of the country without, you know, the big cities, there's no way you're going to get a job in like the towns we live in.
It's the bumpkin life, I'm afraid.
The bumpkin life.
That'd be a good name for this episode.
Too bad it's Blue Dog.
Bumpkin Blue Wolf.
Bumpkin Blue Wolf.
I'm still going to write down bumpkin life just on the off chance.
But do get your license because it also helps you mature and, you know, experience things, which is important.
Yeah, it took me, before we move on from this topic, I suppose Jim can't really answer, but you passed first time, didn't you, on the test?
I pretty much aced the test. Ooh. pretty much.
I'd say we both did.
We both did. You actually technically did better than me, actually.
I had less minors.
You did.
How many minors did you have?
2.
Okay.
You had 1, I'm pretty sure.
I had 1.
Yeah.
1 minor.
So technically, Alex is the better driver. Technically.
But it took me 3 attempts to do the theory.
It took me 4 attempts to do the theory. But to be fair, I'm not good at that type of stuff. I really can't do exams and revise. I don't know how to revise. I don't think
education system completely failed you then.
I don't think I've ever mentioned that back in doing your GCSEs or whatever they're called now. I never revised. I've never revised for anything in my life because I don't know how. Because I'll sit down with a book and I'll start reading it. I'm just like, this ain't going in, so I just stop. So,
you never taught about the different techniques for memory kind of stuff?
No. My parents never got involved with my school life. I was left my own, devices, and that's why I played Modern Warfare 2 obsessively, because it's just I could.
You kind of do need your parents breathing down your neck a little bit.
Yeah.
You need some consequence.
The only time I ever did homework, my dog actually chewed it up, and then I told that to my teacher, and she was like, "This is a lie." And I'm like, "No, he did actually rip it up because he was a puppy at the time." So I've never revised since, and I've been to college and I've done really kind of difficult maths and science and never revised. Somehow passed that at the best level. Somehow I am where I am without being able to revise.
Yeah. So everyone, send Jim nice tweets, ready for his theory. Send him some good positives.
Yeah.
And anyone out there who's going to be doing it soon. There's always someone doing it.
We'll probably turn back to this subject when you've experienced it and know how the actual exam is, how shit it is.
Well, I've been doing the mock tests on the app, and I'm fully aware of how bullshit the tests are.
Oh no, actually going to the test is even worse because you've got to go to Swindon.
It is in Swindon, yeah. Yeah, to the final nail in the coffin of that one is you got to go all the way to fucking Swindon.
No, but that was the worst thing, because when you don't have a car to go to Swindon, you've got to get lifts to Swindon, and then when you fail one and you've got to constantly ask for a lift, it's
yeah,
every
on top of having to pay £40 at every time.
Oh, it's all a scam. In other news, though, sorry, did you have something to say, bro?
Nah.
Fuck fetus.
We've been asked by a few jarlings to report our thoughts on the newest Gorillaz song, because there seems to be a bit of overlap there with the kind of Gorillaz fans thing.
Yeah.
Because we've all often expressed our affection. I don't know if you're on the same level, James. Or
James,
I grew up.
Where do you stand on it?
When I was a kid, I grew up on not music from video games. There was Vice City and all that. There was 2 albums that I grew up with. Discovery
by Daft Punk.
Demon Days.
Okay, so
they are my childhood music.
Okay, I feel like it's just... Is it just our generation? It's just the perfect timing. That first Gorillaz thing and the collabs and the animated band thing was a fun new gimmick and stuff. It's a huge fan base, and
yeah, it is sort of a niche as well, though.
Because the music's fairly interesting. Because it's a collab project, so it's always new.
It's always
crazy.
Fresh.
You got Lou Reed, you got Snoop Dogg, you got De La Soul. There's so many different weird combos.
Yeah.
But I feel the general consensus is their latest stuff has not been quite up to snuff.
We've started with Humans being the first.
Humans is definitely their weakest album. I don't passionately dislike it or anything. It's just as an album, it's not one I'm going to visit and listen through the whole thing. I might listen to a single from it or something.
Yeah, there's 2 good singles on it, and the rest is...
Yeah, and the Now is kind of just chill hip-hop beats.
It's a reset. It's a reset of everything.
Yeah, I think that one is better, though, than Humans.
I'd agree. No, I can listen to all of the Now happily. I enjoy that album, but I can see why people might think it lacks the oomph. But their newest project, Song Machine, is this typical sort of Gorillaz approach to releasing new music, in the sense that it seems like they're just going to be doing kind of like singles, just multiple singles, and using the song machine motif as like a framing device to just.
Is it gonna be?
I don't know if it's an album or if it's like a. Because it'd be cool if they did this for like however many years they're gonna do it, like a couple years, and then at the end package it as an album maybe.
Yeah.
If it makes sense, but if each song's like really different, like so different that there is no through line,
Mm-hmm.
you know, in the way that like Plastic Beach has a clear through line,
Yeah,
Demon
yeah.
Days has a clear through line. But the first song, what's it called again?
Momentary Bliss.
Momentary Bliss. What do we think?
It's a good English punk.
Yeah, at first I didn't really like it, but it's weird that you really have to listen to it with good like speakers or
absolutely.
headphones.
Yeah.
Like, it's actually completely ruined if because when you put some headphones in and listen to this song, it's like, holy shit, this is really good.
Yeah, the production's really
Like-
good. I like that they use like a real drum kit because they've used a lot of sort of electronic production for the last few albums. So it was nice to hear that kind of Blur, punky
It
London
sounds
influence.
more like their first album, Demon Days and Blur.
There's a bit of Plastic Beach in there as well. I'd
Yeah,
say.
there is. There's like sort of I don't know like music terminology, but the start is very different to like the middle.
Yeah,
And the start is similar to the end.
it's because it's got so many different people in it, doesn't it?
Yeah.
It's a
The
collab.
start and the end is like Plastic Beach.
Mhm.
And the like meat of the song, the middle bit is like Demon Days and their first album, Gorillaz.
Yeah, it's got that like nice sort of London energy to it.
Yeah, yeah. It sounds proper English, like, you know?
Yeah, I wouldn't want every song to be like that, but like
Yeah,
from this
the same
project.
way their first album did it.
Exactly. Yeah.
There's like two sort of punky rock songs.
Yeah. No, I really like it. Yeah, I liked it at first, but upon listening to it more and more, I appreciate it more and more. And I was reading through the lyrics, and they're suitably sort of, you know, chaotic and witty.
But there's this real like progression to the song, and I love when music really gets you on board. Like, even if you don't know what the fuck they're talking about.
But that's one thing that's actually really interesting to me about Gorillaz is that I really don't know what a lot of the songs actually mean.
Yeah.
They're so vague and metaphorical a lot of the time.
Yeah.
Where it's hard to tell unless you like actually properly study it, like you're in English lit or something.
Yeah.
And what's going on?
But there's still this like, it's the thing I found with Run the Jewels as well. It feels like they're starting to pump you up, like starting a
that's
revolution
what I
or
really like
something.
about Run the Jewels 2. Not the album Run the Jewels 2, but Run the Jewels TOO. Like, it's not completely overt. Maybe that's what is so lame about Humans, is like because it was all sort of about like Trump and like the end of the world type stuff.
Yeah.
It was lacking that kind of subtlety.
and
I
it was
think.
really like melodramatic for like what had actually happened.
Yeah.
Like,
We've mentioned it before, where it's like the one of the most tired subjects, you know, in media, like all the just mocking, you know, Donald Trump and stuff like that. Like, you can criticize him, but it's like after a while it starts to just become white noise.
Yeah, for entertainment, it's not very
I feel like he could be a bit
entertaining if it's
more
the same
subtle
thing
about
every
it
time.
some way. I
yeah,
don't know.
yeah,
But yeah, I'm excited because the next one.
yeah.
Looks
It's got
like-
me back on board. This song is better than anything from Humans and anything from the now.
It reminds me a bit of Do Your Thing. Remember that one? Lots of. It's like a group
I
project.
think it's
again.
better than Do Your Thing.
Yeah. No, I think it is better, but I still really like Do Your Thing. And on that note, I think we're done with that one. We'll be back after these messages with some questions from the community.
Tea. Give me the tea. Want a dick on a shirt? Check the description below.
Welcome to part 2 of the JARCAST, where we answer questions from the Jarlings themselves. We have 2 sources of questions this week, that being Jar Media Reddit, which is the usual place we look first, but we're having some technical difficulties and we're recording this episode early, so the thread is full of questions we've already answered. So we're going over to Twitter, at 4funnies. Let's do this then. Let's just start with this from at Jar Funnies, Jarchive. Any of you seen BoJack season 6 yet? If so, what did you think of it?
Yeah, I've seen it. I saw it first.
Yeah, I finished it. Yeah, because I did a tweet saying how much I like it, and I was doing. I'm really bad at spelling, right? I'm terrible at spelling.
Same.
So the way I type is I type like just as wrong as possible, but in a way where I can tell what the word is, so I can go back and fix it later. But of course, you can't do that on Twitter. So like, I wrote out my little thing about BoJack, then tweeted it, and then sort of fuck. I spelled one of the fucking words wrong. God damn it.
What word was it?
Don't or something?
No, it was
Bonk.
I'll find it in a minute, but it was a word that is like in my head difficult to spell. I'm so bad at spelling, but I forgot to go back and change it.
Was it horse?
It was BoJack. What did you think though?
Yeah, it was good.
End? No spoilers for those, because I'd recommend watching it if you can get through the first season. I saw a great explanation sort of take basically on it.
Yeah.
Whereas it ends, and I don't know about you, but there is something kind of unsatisfying about it, but that's kind of the point.
Yeah.
Like they don't take the obvious route, you know?
Yeah, because it looks like it's going there.
Yeah. Which is cool, and it just reaffirms like, yeah, life is fucking bumpy. Mm-hmm. That's like the whole point of it in the end. And it's like, you just gotta keep moving forward. That's like it. So yeah, and I was satisfied. I think it makes sense with the way it wrapped up, personally.
Yeah, definitely. It's just like, because with shows like this, I sort of imagine, I'm looking forward to going back and rewatching the whole thing.
Mm-hmm.
But then when the point of the show is to be kind of depressing,
mm-hmm. Yeah,
you don't really. I just
feel satisfied. Like, okay, like I don't need to jump back in. Like when I finished Mr. Robot, I was like, I got to start this again.
Right.
But after that, I'm like, okay, I'm
satisfied. But the like intended feeling is sort of like depressing.
It's not wrapped up with like a nice, neat little bow.
No.
It's more just like, yep.
Yeah.
That's life, but sort of. Yeah, I liked it.
Yeah, it's extremely good. It's like proper art.
And it was bittersweet.
Yeah. I'm so blown away by the quality of that show. It's obscene.
Yeah.
Although
each season has an episode that's like, this is really good.
That pig from the last season, though, really annoyed me.
The detective pig character.
Yeah, the pig and the guy.
I didn't like it that much until they do a joke with it that I thought was like, okay, that makes the whole thing so much funnier to me.
It made it funny. It made fun of itself, but it like that joke was just in it too much.
Right. It was very, very over the top, but like I think I sometimes forget how like weird that show is sometimes. Like they really lean into like the absurdist, like basically anything the character like Aaron Paul Todd does.
Yeah,
is like so absurdist and like wacky a lot of the time.
Yeah,
which I guess is kind of essential for it not to be completely overbearing and
yeah.
Because it's bad enough when it gets real, but all the main characters are like really good in that show. Mm-hmm. Really like fleshed out.
My only complaint is that pig joke. Like the pig and the guy. Those two.
They're like old-timey detectives, yeah.
Yeah, they're just really like
It's quite intense.
all the time, and I ended up like being annoyed every time they showed up.
Mm-hmm.
And for last season, that's kind of a letdown.
Yeah, I agree. Okay, let's go into one James can.
I'm never gonna watch BoJack Horseman.
How do you perceive the show from your level?
And just depressing, and I can't have that in my life.
Yeah.
Yeah, I'm not ready for that stuff.
But do you not think that's kind of what makes it good though as well? At the same
Yeah,
time?
but it's a feeling I don't want. I know it's in its intended like purpose as a form of art, but like
because the
I'm not
point is
ready.
to kind of like help you. Yeah, like it makes you feel like you're not alone in it, as well as like it sort of dismantling the idea of like fame and that horrible industry.
Yeah.
But everyone can relate to a lot of the character. I really related to Diane a lot in the last season.
Really, yeah.
Where she's like trying to write this book and she just keeps procrastinating and just
Mhm.
can't focus and get on with it. Yeah.
I really identify with Mr. Peanut Butter.
He's the funniest character.
He's the best character in the show.
Yeah.
His like story at the end as well is like my favorite.
Really.
Yeah.
Yeah, I was scared they were going to do something with him and Diane, but I'm really glad they didn't.
Yeah,
It would have undercut the whole
it's just so well done. I actually can't believe
for something so silly.
for something that started so like rocky as well.
Yeah.
Like I remember watching the first episode and just being like, man,
Mm-hmm.
Netflix, when are you ever gonna have something good?
Yeah.
And you look at Netflix now and it's like, holy shit.
I really think Will Arnett actually does a really good job acting in it.
Yeah.
Like I think it's
Unreal.
actually kind of underrated. Like his performance, his like voice acting
Mm-hmm.
is exceptional. It's very good. But anyway, let's move on to this one from @spooky_stuff. Opinions on Death Grips, the band.
I listen to the Death Grips.
The Death Grip.
The Death Grip. I listen to them,
I've only listened to one of their albums all the way through.
which is
Yeah, me too.
the famous one.
Yeah, the famous. What's it called again? The Money Store.
Money Store. With the King.
Which I really like actually now. I remember a few years ago I tried and I was like, this isn't really clicking with me right now.
Mm.
But I don't know. I like it now.
Yeah, I like it as well. But like I've tried hopping into their other stuff.
I have as well.
And like they just went a bit too far in some places.
Really?
Mm.
Yeah.
I think the Money Shop is like the perfect mix of what they are, and it's just like I can really get down with some of it, but some of it's just like nah. But I listen to them on a regular basis. It's part of my big shop.
Yeah, I find that like when I'm in the mood for them, I'm really in the mood for them.
Yeah,
And it's
yeah.
like this is really like
There's
just
this
the
one
right energy.
song that is
Get
incredibly good.
Which
the
one?
Fever AA.
Yeah.
I
Mhm.
think that's their best song.
Really.
Hacker's good.
Not as good. I'm
Hacker's
afraid.
Hacker's my favourite.
Yeah, like, but you're wrong, and I'm not.
I've never listened to the one you've meant actually.
So, well, there you go.
Yeah.
might need to listen to it.
The only thing that and it's a me issue. I'm aware of this, but the vocals are such where sometimes I find it hard to tell what's being said.
Mm.
Yeah.
And to me, I like being able to hear what the lyrics are, so I can kind of figure out what the song is about a little bit.
Yeah, or sing along or something.
Yeah, I'll sing along, but I suppose I'd have to just get the lyrics up and read them and listen to it on repeat until I just had it in my head. But
Have you ever had that thing where, like, you've listened to a song loads of times and there's just one bit where you've always heard it as one thing, and then you read the lyrics and it's something completely different?
Yeah, I've had that loads of times.
That always pisses me off. It makes me feel like such an idiot.
Yeah.
Idiot.
Yeah, you're like, how did I hear it that other way
Yeah.
the first time?
Yeah, and once you know what it actually is, it's like, oh,
Oh, that actually
Yeah,
makes a lot
duh.
of sense. Yeah. Yeah,
I like them.
I'll get to them eventually. So there are some of their other stuff, but
on Spotify, I've just realised like loads of anime albums have been added to Spotify.
What's like soundtracks?
Yeah, Ghost in the Shell.
They're getting a bit better for that. Like
Yeah.
there was a time where any remotely obscure kind of soundtrack was not on there, but like everything that's being released like now, like the music normally goes on Netflix. Like that Witcher song is on there. You know, like you don't have to.
Just games. There's so many game soundtracks on Spotify. It's crazy.
Yeah, it needs to be there.
So I'm enjoying Spotify. It's still like the best subscription thing. I don't like subscription services like every month, but Spotify is definitely one of them.
Spotify is probably the subscription service I get the most like value out of, like from use, because I use it every day. I don't use Netflix every day.
Yeah, true.
I don't use Amazon Prime every day. It's the only one I use every day.
Yeah.
Like it would be very weird for me to not use it in a day. Jared19 at Deluxe Distraight says this. In an old episode, someone asked what Jamie's thing was. James has his car, Alex has his Lego, and Ruben has his film studies. What is Jamie's passion?
We answered this at the time. It's a Reload animation.
It's life, man.
Your passion is life.
Yeah, man.
Yeah. Your energy. You're just reading the force around you.
Yeah, my passion is energy.
Your passion is fruit. Passion fruit.
What's your specialty?
It's a question because I've obviously known you two for ages, and it's just like I've never been able to pinpoint it.
Why does somebody need a thing?
No,
Why does somebody need a box to put themselves in?
It's not need. It's just like it's just curiosity.
It just means
really.
things you like. That's all.
Things that make you wake up one morning and go, yes, I'm happy
Being alive.
Life, yeah, okay, that no, that's fine. I get that.
I would say
surviving.
Like a snake.
My passion is surviving.
Jamie is very real when it comes to surviving, to be fair.
This is a little tangent, but there was a really funny comment I read because we've had this ongoing thing about Doom 2016 and Jim not liking it. And they were like, the only reason Jim doesn't like Doom 2016 is because it doesn't have any reload animations.
It does have a reload animation, actually. The super shotgun or whatever.
Oh, yeah, so that was one.
Like the reference to the original.
I remember finding that. I did find that a little bit.
The sword off has one.
Yeah, that's the one I'm talking about.
I did find it a little bit disappointing when I was playing that game. Like, I feel like a really satisfying, like crunchy reload would be awesome for like a game like that. That's all about like sound and like movement.
Yeah.
But I
mean, I
it's part of the design.
understand in the design why they aren't there.
Yeah, absolutely.
And it probably would make that game worse if they were there.
Mm-hmm.
But I mean, it'll be pretty hard to make that game worse.
God damn it. It's like, my fault for bringing it up, I'm sorry.
Have you not noticed something? Doom, Skyrim, Fallout 76, it's all Bethesda games.
I love Fallout 76.
Yeah, the reloads are just fantastic in that game.
I'm not even going to joke about that.
Tom at Futuristic Bagel asks, at school / meeting new people, you often have to tell us a fun fact about yourself. What was your answer?
Oh no, I'm getting hit with a wave of cringe. I can't answer this.
No, go on, tell us.
I'm not.
No,
I can't.
We've all said cringe things. I fucking tell the truth about nanas, okay? If I can tell the truth about nanas, you can tell the truth about your cringy. Tell me one thing about yourself. Because mine was easy. I'd just say, "Oh, I was born in New Zealand." That's what I'd say.
Nothing interesting about me though. Like, not now. Back then, it was just like.
But what would you say then?
I don't
No,
know.
it's in your head. No, you're lying.
It's in my head.
Say it. Just say it.
No.
Say it.
No.
Do it. Do it.
I got a 106-2 kill streak in COD.
Yes.
Which even today, pro players don't even get. That's how good I was. But I'm not saying it. I can't handle the cringe that I'm going to give everyone. Because I worded it completely incorrectly because I was dumb.
Can you please say?
I like war.
Oh, is that the one you said?
Interesting, like, interest.
No, so what you meant was you like history.
I like history and, like, machines, like war, like...
Because that's the stereotype, is that, like...
Guns.
The only part of history that boys care about is, like, the war.
Yeah.
You know, the tanks and the torture devices and the growing bamboo through people and stuff like that, you know. The fun stuff, you know, the actual interesting stuff.
But I just worded it correctly, and the teacher was like reacted really weirdly, so I got really embarrassed.
Like, oh, we
So how do I explain I like war? I like tanks, I like machines, and I cringe to this day. It was really bad.
like that reminds me of when I first got Yahoo Answers. the first question I asked on Yahoo Answers was, "Hello everybody, where's the best place to find good high-res pictures of weapons?" Because that sounds so much worse than the innocent thought process in my head, because I was in like year 7 and I was obsessed with like designing like fantasy characters and giving them like swords and axes and like, you know, dorky stuff like that.
Yeah.
So I was like, I need some like ideas for like weapons. So of course I asked that on Yahoo Answers with not enough detail, and all the questions were like, what kind of psycho are you?
As if you're like planning a terrorist attack or
On
something.
Yahoo Answers. Oh, I miss Yahoo Answers every day.
You had a reassurance with that, because you went back years later when you were your funny self and would ask really dumb questions.
I wish I was banned, so I wish I like had screenshots from some of the stuff I'd asked on there. That's just a fragment lost, I suppose.
It's unbelievably funny though.
Power Couch at pow_couch says, serious question for real. Will you ever release the old RNL videos?
Yeah, sure.
What about like the Batman one?
But we're not in it. None of
What's
us
wrong
are
with the
actually in it.
What do you mean none
We're
of
all
us?
in
I'm
it.
Batman.
All of Jar and
I'm thinking of the
and
other
extras.
Batman videos. Hello
no.
Family. Those videos.
No, I'm thinking of the live action one where Jim's Batman. I'm
The ventriloquist.
the ventriloquist. Yeah, you're Killer Croc.
I'm Killer Croc.
No.
Ruben was the Riddler.
Yeah.
And Matthew, our ex-friend, is the
The Joker.
he was the Joker. Yeah,
yeah.
man.
Ironically.
Yeah,
I'm not ashamed of those videos.
I'm not.
I'm not ashamed, but like to me, they're not for
People
other-
to see.
they're not for other people. They're like ours.
There are like
They were
growing
made
up
for
era.
us.
Yeah, that's fair enough. That's fair enough.
It's a part of our history. To
Yeah,
how we got
But
here.
like, yeah, like the old one we've released, like Fart Breakfast. Like nothing to be ashamed of that
Release
one.
that.
Yeah.
No, there is one to be ashamed of, and it's nothing to do with me, and it's nothing to do with James.
What, the Minecraft?
Yes.
Yeah. that is actually like peak. We shouldn't.
You were both there. You were recording
Yeah.
it.
Like standing there, like looking at each other, like, dude.
No, am I thinking of the machinima we tried to make?
No.
No, Minecraft
Oh
cinema.
no! Oh no! The other Minecraft one.
Wait, there were two?
No, there was the machinima.
There's the
Oh,
machinima.
yeah, I know the
and
machinima.
It was never like anything.
No,
No, it was something. I went really far. I wrote a script. And then, we were like bobbing the heads and like.
I remember thinking like,
we're gonna get so rich. Yes.
yeah, like this is gay, but if it works, we're gonna be like mega rich.
No, yeah, because I was just like in YouTuber like algorithm mindset. Like Minecraft is everything right now.
Yeah.
Let's
can make
ride the
money.
Minecraft train.
Yeah.
You know.
Ride the Minecraft train, but like use what they did with Red versus Blue.
Yeah.
And but this other Minecraft video, it's unbelievable. It's the funniest and worst video ever made. It's so bad.
Yeah, it is. It's actually like
I think Ruben would fly to fucking New Zealand if you saw the
Yeah,
video.
because those that don't know, it's me and Ruben just being really cringy for a few minutes.
No, it's
Like 1 minute long. Who's more embarrassing, me or Ruben?
Ruben.
It's pretty.
Yeah, it's bad.
really bad, man.
It's really bad.
No, I want people to see it though. That's the one I want people to see because it's just
I don't want people to see it for the sake of you guys because I have empathy.
No, but it's just like it's a good thing because we went from that to this. It's a good like this is what we were.
It's like a straight line. You know, we're just modern Minecraft videos.
I don't know. I'm not that ashamed of it because
No,
like
I don't think you are. I think Ruben is. It's
Ruben definitely
it's
is.
particularly
He'd probably
bad for
commit
Ruben.
suicide. He'd commit seppuku if that somehow emerged.
He would bring a lot of dishonor to his family, but
Yeah. No, you would. Yeah, but
I
I have the philosophy though where it's like if you've done it, like it exists. Why pretend that it didn't? You know, like even like all the terrible videos I've uploaded in the past, like some creators like they get ashamed of their old stuff, they take it down, like we did with like that Minecraft video, for example. But from a certain point, I like just leaving it up to show some kind of. Despite the shit
you are
it gets
like a child,
yeah,
because we were children when we made that video.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, like
I'm
no clue what
fine
we're doing.
with that. Like people don't need to see that.
Yeah, because it
represent us
at all.
It was, all kids are cringy, and we were kids being cringy and recording it.
Yeah, it's the kind of thing that like they would have been doing in like the 90s with like video cameras and stuff, but it would just be on a tape in someone's garage. It wouldn't be on the internet. So we say this all the time, man, but I feel sorry for these kids growing up, like all of their cringiness being documented from the age of like 8
being
onwards.
on you know, like TikTok compilations and all that.
Yeah, because yeah, exactly. All of our younger cousins are getting to that age now where they're starting to use social media, and it's like, whoa, this is so weird. This is so weird because you're always just babies in my mind, and now
but
you're
it's just like the bad thing is because of how the internet is now, they can't really reset themselves. Like I managed to actually reset all of my online stuff at like a point. Like I erased the fucking cringe from my life.
Yeah.
How are young people gonna do that now with the internet the way it is?
Just keep your social media accounts on private.
No, do you know how they actually do it?
Huh.
They use it so often that you would have to scroll so far to go back and see all the cringy shit.
I suppose that's one thing. Is like,
and everyone uses Snapchat.
Yeah, I suppose. Well, Instagram as well.
Yeah, Instagram like gets rid of stories and shit, doesn't it?
Unless you save them.
What else have we got here?
What is the point of the story on Instagram?
Yeah, you just post updates.
What was the first thing to have like stories?
Facebook.
But like, what is the point? Like,
was it Facebook? Because one of them did it, and then they all just copied it, didn't they? Wasn't it Snapchat?
Yeah, I'm pretty sure Snapchat.
Yeah, Snapchat
started.
invented it, and then everyone else stole it. Even like WhatsApp has it. That's the one I don't understand.
I don't understand it at all. Like, no.
I understand it for like advertising on Instagram.
For Snapchat, it makes sense. Instagram, I don't understand. Why not just do a normal like post?
Like, yeah, because it's just like a temporary thing, isn't it?
But why does it need to be like?
No, I can understand. It's like, okay, this is going to be specific to me and the groups I'm in, but it's like, for example, I go to a certain track with my car. I can take pictures. I can take 10 pictures and I can put it in a group album on the story. So it's on my profile. Click like 2010 at this event, and I can have a recap of all the pictures. So then you're not filling your feed, your actual profile of all the pictures. That works.
There is some logic to that, yeah.
So it's like you can document like each track you've gone to in the year. So it's like a story almost of all the places you've done with pictures. But if on your actual profile, you're not going to have that organisation. That's what I use that for. Because I have like Gaius, I have like a lot.
But that's not your main story, is it? That's like an
added one. But to do that, you have to add that to your main story. So at the time it's the main story, but then you make a highlight later on.
I just can't be fucked with that shit, man. Like,
and obviously that's only going to be specific to my group where that's the stuff I do. So
I feel like that's the way to use it, though.
Yeah.
Like if you're an Instagrammer type. We have a good one here from Robin. What the fuck was that? What is that?
I just got a notification on my phone, and it was, sometimes your phone makes like a slideshow of pictures.
Yeah.
It was called Fluffy Friends. So it's like, what the?
Oh, just pets.
And swiped it, and it started this slideshow, and it was just a picture of Argy with that music.
Robin is doing fine. At extra small Robin says, what would it take for you to sell your soul to the devil?
The opportunity to live.
Right, what? Say that again?
Big fat ass.
So you'd sell your soul to the devil so you could have like a really plump ass?
I've got a plump ass anyway.
So
I
why'd
would
you say that
sell.
then?
I would sell my soul to the devil if I got to go to heaven.
Right. So in your mind, because the devil is confirmed to exist, that means that there is probably some religious kind of truth.
Yeah.
And you want to make sure you've got your place in heaven.
Yeah.
That's not about. That's being smart. That's a good investment of your soul.
So what's yours then, James?
Oh, wait. Can I do a different one?
Of course.
I'll sell my soul to the devil if I get the next 2 souls that he buys from people.
Nah, that's not fair. He'd be like, no, bitch.
No, but what if he gets like some scummy souls that aren't worth as much as my poor soul?
Mine would be, I'd sell my soul for a Mr. Gold minifigure, mint condition.
Yeah.
Just Too Good has one. He actually managed it. I'm joking.
Wait, just to what?
Just Too Good, the Lego YouTuber, legendary Lego YouTuber. Hello?
Does he actually have a mint condition?
He actually has Mr. Gold, yeah. He went around like finding the bags, like feeling the bags, and he actually did it. He fucking did it. He found Mr. Gold.
I don't know. I'd sell.
Would you sell your soul if you could, like, promise the safety of the world, for example?
No.
Like,
no.
Yeah.
so you wouldn't sacrifice your soul for the greater good, as it were.
I'd sacrifice my soul for Jar.
Yeah.
How? Like how? What do you mean?
So we're bought out by a bets website, and they're gonna close Jar. And the owner of the bets website is the devil.
Oh, and they're satisfied with your soul instead of the channel.
Yeah.
Right.
It's like Cuphead.
But then, well, I suppose there are 2 J's, so there'd still be a J that could live on.
Well, I'm not
your
saying I
memory.
would die.
You'd have no soul. You'd be a husk. You'd be the husk of Jar.
Yeah, but that would make a good like Jar prop.
Oh, you're this weird like shriveled husk.
No,
Yeah.
but
Like
you'd
an
still be
Egyptian
able.
No, it'd be like
mummified.
the exact same, but just like empty. Do you remember when Bart sells his soul in The Simpsons, and he doesn't find things funny anymore?
Oh, I remember that episode. That really like freaked me out.
Yeah, he
As a
gives
kid.
his soul to Millhouse, doesn't he? Like
Yeah.
he writes on a piece of paper.
Yeah, some of these Treehouse of Horrors like were kind of freaky. Like the concepts were quite like, oh, this is.
I don't
quite
think that was
creepy.
even a Treehouse of Horror, was it?
No, I'm pretty sure it's a new one. Normal.
It was just a normal episode. He writes like my soul, and he trades it.
Oh,
for,
you're
like,
right, yeah.
Millhouse's toy, and then he actually like.
No, there's that classic episode with the hair transplant that's like alive.
That's awesome. That one.
It's funny.
Yeah. Yeah, Homer gets Snake's hair.
Yeah,
That is good.
some golden Simpsons episodes, but
Simpsons used to be awesome. Are there any Simpsons questions before we finish?
who's the best Simpson family member?
Maggie.
Lisa.
What?
Say Marge. Go on.
Homie. Marge. Well, that's the end of the episode.
We hope you had a good
Fellow
time.
Simps.
Yeah.
Well, the
Please be
Family
safe.
Guy myself. On that note, thanks for tuning in, supporting the show on Patreon and iTunes. We'll see you on the next app. Marge.
Homie.